as a gamer, have you ever thought to yourself, I wish life could be just as easy as a game, right? Or just, why am I not as good at life as I am in gaming? Well, what if I told you that you actually are building the skills you need to succeed in life because of the games you play? Hey guys, I'm going to share with you today what the most powerful, this is my favorite, the most powerful skill you have as a gamer, and how, and this is the best part, stay till the end because I'm going to show you how this can apply in real life and how gamers have actually significantly changed the world because of this skill. So hey guys, thank you so much and welcome to Dragonmore XP, your go-to source for personal development for gamers. And just wanted to thank you guys and say, what is the number one skill? I'll just tell you straight out, problem solving, right? And when we're talking problem solving, we're talking about just, anything you do in a game is really geared around just solving this problem, right? And just to kind of give you an aside, right, when we're talking career, we're talking business skills, business problem solving, and gamer problem solving. They're the same thing, right? We just have different examples. That's the only difference. So in business problem solving, what do we mean? Like in problem solving in business, I think is a little bit more of a buzzword in the sense that like it seems like it carries more meaning than it actually does. And all business problem solving is, so when you see, skill needed problem solving, all that means is you're able to solve problems. Simple. Like it's not any more complicated than that. And so like business problem solving is things like, like meeting tight deadlines when you have a heavy workload, right? It's just kind of this, crunch time management thing. Or it could be just, how to, handling a new product launch, right? Just what are all the steps involved, right? And then or it's just, metrics, right? Like the sales team not meeting their sales targets, right? Like that's a problem. And so you want people with problem solving skills to come in and try to figure out what needs to happen to fix that. And really all it is in that sense is that business problem solving is some kind of objective, right, that needs to be solved, as well as some kind of rules around it, right? You can't just do whatever you want. It has to be legal. It has to be preferably ethical, and there's usually some other kind of rules around the company policy, what you can and can't do, what you're allowed to do, and there's usually some kind of constraint or like a resource, right? It's how do we meet the tight deadline? There's a time constraint, right? It has to be done by this time, or a resource constraint. We only have X amount of people to do the job, right? So, and so that's really all. It's those three parts are really what all problem solving is some kind of objective, some kind of rules that govern what you do, and some kind of resource or constraint. I really just described every game you've ever played. Okay, games have an objective, right? Whether it's beating the game, beating bosses, beating the level, solving the puzzle, whatever it is, there's some kind of, even sandbox games, I'll tell you, it's like you can kind of create your own kind of objective. It's like here's all the building blocks, like Minecraft or something. Like build what you want. My objective personally, I'm going to build a castle or something. Like cool, you have an objective. And then there's rules. We also call these game mechanics, right? What are you allowed to do in the game? There's certain things you can and can't do. So these are kind of the rules that govern how you can play the game. And then there's some kind of a constraint or resource, right? It's whether it's just simply your time, whether it's time in the game where it's like you have to beat the level in X amount of time, or there's some kind of constraint around your resources, right? For RTS games, like mining, getting the resources, or whether it's RPGs, whether it's even constraints could be just simply your XP, your level, or your gear equipment. Those are all resources / constraints that you have to work on to beat the game, right? So really that's all it is. So problem solving, very simply, is just overcoming an obstacle or meeting an objective within a certain rule set, game mechanics, and using some kind of a resource or a constraint to get you there. So, okay. So that's what I'm hopefully you guys are starting to see, that it's the same thing. But to kind of go a little bit further, give you kind of an example. So I wanted to give you kind of the real world example. So when we're talking about gaming, right, where I think it's pretty clear as far as just solving these kind of things. But I wanted to give you kind of a the outside of gaming perspective for gamers, and this one is really interesting. This one completely floored me when I heard it. and that is a game called Fold It. Now, if you haven't heard of this game, this is a like developed by the University of Washington. This is like a protein folding game invented by biochemists, and really it's just about just forming certain protein structures that I guess we as humans can do intuitively in our heads better than like a computer model can. So they created this program, this game, around helping getting people to help fold proteins to get them to work properly. And this is fantastic as an example because my my favorite example of this in this as part of this game is that, so this was years ago at this point. So I think back in 2011 there was a problem that had stumped scientists, researchers for 15 years regarding HIV/AIDS. There was like some part of the protein crystalline structure. Couldn't tell you the whole details, but it was, they put it into the game. They put it into Fold It and said, we have had this problem that we have not been able to solve for 15 years, right? Biochemists, researchers spent 15 years trying to solve this problem. They could not figure it out. They just couldn't. They put it in Fold It, so they put it in this game, and gamers solved it. They solved the structure and went to this breakthrough in terms of research for drugs to help with HIV/AIDS. And gamers solved that because they put it in Fold It. Not only did they solve it, this 15-year problem, once they put it and solved it or Fold It, they solved it in 10 days. Right? 15-year problem solved in 10 days by gamers. Insane. Right? Because that's talk about using your problem solving skills, right? It wasn't the fact that it was just in the game, it was that we had gamers solving that. That's one thing I wanted to mention, is that you might, and for those that have heard the Folded example, the gamification community, so like you use gamification to help drive behavior in a more gamified, fun way, and that is good, and that is part of it, yes. But one of my takes on it is that yes, gamification was part of the whole Fold It thing too. So you can gamify folding proteins so that people will be more motivated to do it. But I don't want us to lose the fact that, while gamification uses that as like one of their core examples to be like, see, gamification works. I'm like, okay, but who solved it, right? Gamification is like, all right, let's help drive behavior to actually have people play it and actually try to solve it. But it was gamers that solved it, right? This 15-year problem solved in 10 days was by gamers. And how did they solve it? Because it was a game. Like, very simply, that's what they'll tell you, right? It's like, well, we were playing a game and we just wanted to beat it. So all it is the gamers problem solving that they've had for years of just playing different games and going through, and whether you play the same game for many hours or you play multiple different games, you're learning problem solving. And they use these skills to do this fold protein game called Fold It, and they're able to solve this 15-year-old problem because of their problem solving skills. So that's one of the ways that I just want to show you that you have skills because you're a gamer that apply outside of gaming. So I'm super excited to share these kind of tips with you. So guys, if you have learned something cool, new, and interesting, let me know in the comments, and let me know what games that you like to play that help you solve problems, right? And what kind of problems have you solved? Because I'm very curious. So one of the other things I want to make sure that you guys know is that we have so many more things coming up, and including a video right here, probably around here, that is going to be about how you can learn or how you can apply your leadership skills and teamwork building skills because you're a gamer. So guys, this has been so much fun, very interesting, and hope you guys will come back and see me. Thank you for leveling up, and congrats for leveling up with Dragonmore XP, and I'll see you guys later.